I've gone up on
makes us tick below the surface. Why is the
StreamYard.
hustle and after school home?
Okay, I'm about to call Pam Morris Walton right now.
I'll call my own.
Thank
With
you.
my why, I stand strong, seen and supported all along. It's a million faces in a mirror, and everyone belongs. Find your why. Join today at ymca.org for a better us.
This is AP News. I'm Rita Foley. Will they do it? President Biden says he's optimistic that he and the Republicans can reach agreement on the debt limit and avoid what experts say could be a financial catastrophe.
I remain optimistic because I'm a congenital optimist. But I really think that...
Hey, Robert, how you doing?
...as well as ours to reach agreement. I think we'll be able to do it.
The president and congressional...
All right, sending Pam Morris Walton through.
Stay at the White House over the debt limit. The nation is...
How you doing?
And can everyone hear each other?
Can you hear me?
Good morning.
Good morning. How are
I
you?
hear you. Good morning, Santita. I am wonderful. How are you?
I am doing well. Thank you so much for being with us today.
You are so welcome. You're so welcome. I was at the Mother's Day Bowl concert last evening and did not see your text until later. But
Okay, Megan here on Facebook.
always in church. Always in church.
No, I know, and you know what? I start my day at 3 o'clock on Sunday morning because of
Oh, my God. No, you don't.
because of the nationally syndicated show,
That's right. You do that. Right.
and so
Bless your heart. But how are you?
I'm doing well. But I want to talk with you, and I need your help in getting more active in churches. Because I have some ideas about, Mother's Day was originally Mother's Day for Peace. I want to talk with you about that. And I'd like to work with you, I'd like to build upon what you and what my mother have been doing with women down through the years.
Okay. All right.
Getting us involved in endeavors that, because we can bend, we can bend history. We can do that.
Mm-hmm.
And the original idea for Mother's Day was to get all women across all nationalities to meet to end war for all time. The woman who wrote the battle hymn of the Republic, and I want to talk with you about that.
Okay, I'm out of town this week. I'm in Atlanta tomorrow.
Okay.
Doing some book things. And then I'll be back and next week. So let's get on each other's calendar maybe next week if it's good for you. Okay?
Absolutely.
Okay.
I see it.
Okay.
And when I heard them...
And it was a wonderful day with Mom yesterday.
Oh, boy, we just laughed a long time. Yes.
Good.
Because my father was like, why didn't you plan something? I said, first of all, you went out last night. You went to an event, and he can't do events and then go out. I mean, and then the next morning he looked exhausted, and because that's just the nature of Parkinson's. At least how it's impacted him.
Mm-hmm.
And I know it's frustrating, but it's like I told him, I was like, hey, I read an article many years ago that said, you trust God and you believe that God trusts you. I said, now you need to trust him because God has entrusted you with this disease.
Mm-hmm.
I said, if you weren't supposed to have it, you wouldn't have it. There's something you got to do with this. I said, I'm here for it.
Yeah.
I said, I'm here for it.
That's wonderful. It's wonderful. Hey, Santita, after I I'm not going to be a long time this morning. I'm going to jump off to get on the prayer.
Of course.
I usually do, okay? Just want to let you know.
No worries. Because I'm running to I'm going to be done here. I can let everyone know.
And get to the inauguration.
Yeah, we have to go over there a little early.
Okay.
So, I'm heading out of here.
Frank. Okay.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. What were you saying?
Frank will be there. I'm not sure if I'm going to make it yet. but I know he'll be there. So
Oh,
you
well,
may
tell him
see-
to say hey, please.
I will.
Because people say, well, I saw you, but I didn't want to. I said, it's all the people I know. I'm like, oh, I don't want to. Then people I don't know walk up to me and say, do you know who I am? I'm like, no. No, I say, no, I don't. Because one of my classmates from grammar school who I had not seen in more than 40 years, bless his heart, he said, do you remember me? I said, no.
You don't know. I know.
No.
Yeah, some people change. Don't even remember them. They don't.
I'm like, but babe, I said, do you know we saw each other in 1977? 77. He said, I said, yeah. I said, now you've seen me, but I haven't seen you. And if you hadn't seen me, I promise you, before the Lord, you wouldn't recognize me, because I do not look like we did in grammar school. Lord, have mercy. But he didn't mean any harm, bless his heart. He just didn't. You just have to let people know, no, I don't remember. Because because I think if you're not honest about it, it's like I was telling my mother, because my mother didn't like that I did that. I said, oh, no. I said, because one untruth begets another.
That's true.
I said, because then people say, well, remember when we, nope. No, I don't remember any of that, because it didn't happen. No, because don't put me at a party where I was not.
Mm-hmm.
Don't.
She wasn't.
I was not there. Nope. So no, I don't remember any of that. But I'll let folks know in a heartbeat. Nope, I do not remember. And that's just to cut down on a whole lot of, as I said, odd stuff. It's like, plus, let's not lie about this. No, I don't.
All right, 60 seconds.
Okay.
Uh-uh.
So, no, we're good.
We're really doing well.
Oh, yeah. We are good. That's what I wanted.
All right.
Okay.
Hang on.
I know I'm doing all of that, but
All right, coming up.
okay, great. Thank you.
We can change the world, change the world, change the world. We can change the world, we can change the world, change the world.
This is the Santita Jackson Show.
War and hate to a place of love, it's not too late. Gotta save the children, we can't wait. Let's change the world. I am green.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Santita Jackson Show. It is Monday, May 15th, 2023. WCPT 820, the nation's largest progressive talk radio station. This is my home station, as is AM 950 radio in Minneapolis, St. Paul. I got to get up and see you now that these COVID restrictions, now that the emergency is over. I'm Santita Jackson. It's a joy to be with you today. I want you to meet my morning stars on the Santita Jackson and Friends Facebook page. Santita Jackson and Friends Facebook page. Facebook asked me to ask you, Joyce and Barbara and Paula, thank you. I'm glad you like my jacket. and Dave and Daryl and Linear Bob and so many of you, Mark Hay, Shirley from beautiful Philadelphia. Yes. Robert Williams, Denise, how you doing down there in Texas? Sending you so much love. Hey, everybody, please go over to the Santita Jackson Show, Santita Jackson Show YouTube channel. We're going to be doing something a little special this morning. Today, the Chicago City Council and our new mayor, Brandon Johnson, will be sworn in. I've got to go over to the inauguration. I thankfully was invited. Many of you will remember when, before he was a candidate, just my friend, he filled in for me on this show, and I'm so honored that he did that. And he also vouched for me to get this job in order to become the Santita Jackson Show, someone who really pulled for me and pushed me to do this. And so got to get out there and support him. So we extended the show on Friday. And what you will hear starting at 6:30 is an extended, like Santita Jackson, the Santita Jackson Show Plus. A lot of things that you didn't hear on air, you will hear that starting at 6:30. So everybody like and share. I hope that you like it and let me know what you're thinking when I come back tomorrow morning live. You will also hear what I saw, and hopefully I'll post some pictures at the inauguration. It's just hard to walk and talk and be a part of the activities and take all these pictures. I just haven't quite gotten the hang of that, but I'm working on it. So everybody, let's get right to it. I've got my gospel sister, Pam Morris Walton. Can't wait to see her husband at the inauguration. She's got so much to do. She might not get there in time, but I know I'm going to see her at some point. So I'm really glad about that, everybody. So Monday, May 15th, 2023, let's get right to it, everybody. Let's get to these headlines. So much is going on all around the world. President Erdogan, that's right, Erdogan, of Turkey, someone upon whom America has depended over the past 20 years, on the right wing of the spectrum. Well, it turns out he didn't get 50% of the vote, so they're going to have a runoff. Everybody is really, really surprised about that. What do you think about that? President Erdogan is, they are between Europe, India, China, Russia, and the global south. So you have the global south, which are the nations of color, and China and Russia on one side, and you have the European nations on the other, and they are geographically and politically in the middle. It'll be very interesting to see what's going to happen. Within the next few weeks, we will know, but they will have a runoff election, everybody. So let's keep it moving, everybody. In Ukraine, Ukrainian President Zelensky arrived in the United Kingdom today to meet with Prime Minister Rishi Sunak, days after the UK delivered multiple Storm Shadow cruise missiles to Kiev. The two leaders are set to discuss the need for urgent support for the country. Vice Media filed for Chapter 11 today to facilitate a sale of the company and safeguard its future, according to court documents. And so, billionaire Harlan Crow, the gentleman who has purchased Clarence Thomas's home, supplied him with trips worth hundreds of thousands of dollars, also bankrolled Republican lawmakers blocking SCOTUS ethics reform. How about that? Yeah, you got to keep on digging in the news so you can find out what's going on there. And it turns out that the United States sold weapons to roughly 60% of the world's authoritarian nations in 2022. Doesn't sound very democratic. What do you think, everybody? United pilots picket for better contract after American and Southwest counterparts authorized strikes. I think the skies are not going to be so friendly, everybody. Meccan Financial, they are my new sponsor. We're so excited. You've been hearing me talk about them. Ron Whittingham from Meccan Financial, you'll be hearing from him soon on everyday financial literacy principles that we all need to know. Indeed, you do not have to have high net worth to have a financial advisor. This is what they do. They work with middle class, working class, and even aspiring working class people to help them to organize their money so that they can move into a comfortable retirement and move into really fulfilling the American dream, everybody. They've built their business on helping the middle class and working class people plan for retirement. Some financial advisors are only invested in you when you are invested in the stock market and in things that yield high net worth. But if you work with them, you can get there. You can get there. They're true advisors, providing a roadmap for a dignified and comfortable retirement. We've got to think about it because everybody, your retirement comes upon you before you know it. And then we are also going to be talking with David Hochberg at some point over the next few days about how you can own a home in this really tenuous financial environment. If you are a first-time home buyer, which means you have not owned a home within the past 3 years, you need to call Team Hochberg, your trusted local lender. First-time home buyers made up just 26% of the market last year, down from 34% the year before, and down from much higher numbers in years prior. So Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac said, we've got to do something about this because we cannot have a nation of renters. We need to have a nation of owners, everybody. And remember, as we've been talking about King Charles III, only 15% of the world are landowners. Think about that, everybody. So Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac want to incentivize first-time home buyers, people who have not owned a home in the past 3 years. So if you're in the Chicago area and your total household income is beneath $105,700, might sound like a lot, but you know who's comprising your household. Well, if you've not owned a home in the past 3 years, you might be eligible for this program. Now, you need to go on and get involved in it because they can change these mortgage rates at any time. So while they are holding steady, while they are low, please call Team Hochberg at 855-56-DAVID, 855-56-DAVID. And even if you're having trouble holding on to your home, if you are looking at foreclosure, if you're looking at trying to buy a home, call Team Hochberg at 855-56-DAVID, 855-56-DAVID. Look at building generational wealth for you, for your children, for your grandchildren. Remember, homeowners beget other homeowners. Go to 855, call them at 855-56-DAVID, 855-56-DAVID, or go to 56david.com, 56david.com, your trusted local lender. That's right, Team Hochberg. All right, my gospel sister, on the go always. Every time I reach her, she is at a church on a Sunday and on a Saturday and on a Friday and on a Thursday. Well, you know, there you go. I love it. I love it. What's going on? My gospel sister, the author of, what is the name of your book?
57 Days, The Wait for a New Heart,
Amen.
Sparks a Spiritual Journey of Faith and Love.
I love it. I love it. I love it. Go to Amazon or go to your website, yes?
Yes, PamMooreSpeaks.com.
All
That's
right.
where you get your autograph book.
Amen.
Okay.
So what is the
Good
word
morning
today?
to you. Good morning. Well, I said it just a few moments ago, 3 words, all is well. Last week, or the last time, I know I did, I focused on prayer, which we all still need every day. But today, it's 3 words. Santita, and good morning once again to you, and hope that your Mother's Day experience was beautiful yesterday because you are a mother to many, whether you've had your own child or
Which
not.
I have not.
You serve as a mother.
Let me get that
But
clear.
you are a mother, and I hope you enjoyed the day and your mom.
I did.
So
Thank
today's
you.
subject is all is well. It's easy. A word about the future. Frustrated sometimes because a dream isn't taking so long. It's taking so long to come to pass. Sometimes we get upset because somebody did us wrong. But instead of complaining about the difficulty, instead of being upset because your plans didn't work out, instead of losing your peace and living frustrated, you need to remember this simple phrase. It's 3 words, everybody. All is well. You just say all is well. And why is that? Because God is still on the throne and in control. When you're tempted to get discouraged, keep reminding yourself that all is well. All is well. You know, God is bigger than anything you're facing. God is bigger than anything that you are facing. As long as you are in faith and the focus of darkness cannot stop you. It cannot. When you have this all is well attitude, the creator of the universe will make things happen that you could never make happen. remember those 3 words, everybody, all week long. All is well. Thank you, Santita.
Sending you so much love. All is well. All is
Thank you.
well. It does
All is
change.
well.
It changes everything
well.
when you know that all is well.
Yes.
When you trust
Yes. And just say it.
that all
Yes,
is
yes,
well.
yes.
That's right.
Yes.
Oh, I just love you.
Love you.
I love you. I love you. She's hopping off to pray, everybody. Love her. Love that. Love that. She teaches us all so much about faith. So much about faith. You never know that she had a heart transplant, but it's just made her heart bigger. She's one of the most wonderful human beings I know. Pam Morris, everybody. Pam Morris Walton, excuse me. The beautiful Mrs. Walton. Mrs. Frank Walton, but we love her. It's a gospel sister, Pam Morris. But she's Pam Morris Walton. We've got Dr. Shanita Knighton. Dr. Knighton, how are you?
Good morning. How are you?
You know what? I am doing well. You know, you've said something that has really resonated with me. Hygiene poverty. Hygiene poverty. And you made, I follow your post, studiously. And you were looking at how just a big chunk of our income goes toward just housing. And more and more of us don't have enough income to get decent housing. And there is an impact upon hygiene. What is, number one, what is hygiene poverty? And what is the tie between that and, home affordability and even homelessness, right? What is hygiene poverty?
So hygiene poverty is the inability to either have access or being able to afford things that would keep your body clean or keep your environment clean, thus decreasing your risk for bad health outcomes. In my area of research, specifically related to infections. And so what that means is that individuals may not be able to, let's say, afford or access deodorant. They may not be able to access, let's say, menstrual products. They may not have access to, let's say, adequate appliances to be able to store their food, to be able to cook their food, to be able to properly launder, their clothing. It could be not being having access to toothpaste. And so, as you mentioned with housing affordability, if someone's rent or their house note is a tremendous amount of money, or they, let's say, are challenged with, let's say, unexpected expenses, such as having to fix a major appliance, a car, or something like that, it then puts them in a situation of, okay, do I have to decide between getting my car fixed or affording toothpaste and soap? And so a lot of times these same issues tend to trickle down into other areas. So for a healthcare worker that may not be able to, they go to the hospital, they might take care of other people, but they might not be able to afford laundering their own uniforms daily or have resources to do so before they have to go in for their next shift. And for a child, let's say that has uniform or that has regular clothes, their inability to be able to have their uniforms properly laundered, again, thus leading to an increased risk of contamination of germs. And so a lot of the things that we would take from outside environments, we then will walk inside of our homes or have exposure to because we don't have proper resources to take care of our environment as well as ourselves.
So when you talk about hygiene poverty, make the connection between that and deodorant. I mean, because now there's a famous commercial, in which a physician has developed a deodorant that you not just put under your arms, but you put all over your body. And I wanted to know does the presence of underarm odor suggest something? I mean, what does it suggest?
So the thing is our body is always trying to get rid of toxins. Our body is always trying to, let's say, excrete bad things, excrete waste. And so when we sweat and we have things that are able to come through our pores, that's our body's response, to trying to cool itself down. It happens when we work out. It happens, let's say, if we're outside in the heat. It's just something that naturally would happen with our body. And what happens is, of course, depending on what it is that we consume, depending on the conditions, some of our systems may tend to cause, let's say, a must smell. And so that must smell, we've learned in this society to be indicative of someone not being clean. I'm not saying that that's the case in other countries where, let's say, they may not use deodorant or deodorant is not something that is emphasized. But when you would go inside of an environment where you're taking care of someone, or if you're working in food, that would be considered unclean. And so for someone that may not be able to afford deodorant, that has to go inside of their work environments, we know, and the studies show that 9 times out of 10, these are individuals that, may be disrespected. They may not receive attention. They're also the ones that are not highly regarded when it comes to their jobs. Like, we know that these things exist, unfortunately. They'll be ridiculed by colleagues. Unfortunately, classism does become a thing when you have individuals, that are in these types of situations. We've seen it with, like, let's say, some environmental services workers where they'll come, they do a great job in terms of what it is that they're doing, but then you might have staff that want to talk to them about their hygiene or their appearance, when there is a lack of knowledge or a lack of awareness that these individuals, while they may come to work, do their job, get everything done as they're supposed to, they may not have adequate resources to be able to stay groomed, to be able to stay in a manner for which society feels as though that they should look or smell. And unfortunately, we don't think about that. The other thing is, too, Santita, is when I talk about hygiene poverty, it's one thing about having access to something and affordability, but we also have to remember that not one shoe fits all, meaning that some of us have allergies to, let's say, aluminum and some of the other ingredients in products that are produced. And so it comes to be an equity issue that, yes, I might be able to afford, let's say, a $3 or $4 deodorant, but that $3 or $4 deodorant may not necessarily be what's best for my skin or best for my body. And so there's also an awareness as well, is that when we talk about hygiene poverty, it's asking, do people have the proper products to make sure that they're able to sustain themselves and their environment, and have the conversation in a way to where we're not just looking at it as money, but making sure that we're also looking at it as an aspect of health.
Well, how many of you have heard about hygiene poverty? How many of you know what it is? We're going to be talking about that more and more and more and more. A lot of people in the United States of America, let alone around the world, but here in the richest country on earth, cannot afford sanitary products, do not have running water at home, cannot afford soap. You can just keep on going with this. And we're going to be talking about that more and more and more, because that needs to become a national issue. It needs to be discussed in Congress, and it needs to be dealt with. Everybody should have access to water. Everyone should have access to soap. Everyone should have access to the basics to make it through this life. And somehow or another, we haven't figured that out. And Dr. Knighton, we're going to work on that and really increase the awareness, because most of us don't even know what hygiene poverty is. And it does exist. I've got about 30 seconds left. Is there anything else you'd like to say today?
Just honestly, for us to, when we are thinking about it, think about how that relates to infection prevention and control. And also, as a worker that has been inside of individuals' homes, sometimes we have to recognize that individuals may not have the resources to be able to keep their houses clean. And when I'm saying resources can be equivalent of actual cleaning materials, or it can be equivalent of actual time, because they're having to work so hard to be able to sustain a roof over their head. And so it's really right now, Santita, and it's really going along with the messenger, of the author, and the pastor that we just talked to, Pam Morrison, and I know it's another last name, it's hyphenated. Mm-hmm. But just bringing that up to just say that these are real issues, and really to just be kind without judgment, because a lot of the environments that we may find ourselves in, it's not because people choose to live in those conditions, it's because of the actual situation that they may be in that's subjecting them to their conditions.
Amen to that. Sending you so much love, Dr. Shanina Knighton. Hey, Dr. Nina, Heydrnina. I'm Santita Jackson, everybody. I'm off to the inauguration of the Chicago City Council and Mayor-elect Brandon Johnson. It's going to be a great day. And I plan to pay homage to Mayor Lori Lightfoot, who did a lot of great things, everybody. Hope Paul Vallis is there because he has worked hard to serve us as well. Sending everybody so much love. Please go to the Santita Jackson and Friends page if you want to see and hear a lot of what we're talking about. That's like there from Friday. Go there. And then also go to the Santita Jackson Show YouTube channel, the Friday version of the Santita Jackson Show. You'll hear the extended, the remix, if you will. It's a joy to be with you. Thank you, Devin, for a great show. Thank you, Matt, for making all of this happen. Sending you all so much love. Cannot wait to be at this inauguration today. New possibilities. Remember, voting is the end of the beginning, not the beginning of the end. Now is the time for you to get involved. Love you, everybody. See you tomorrow on the Santita Jackson Show. Dr. Knighton, sending you so much love, girl. I'm running out of here. Got to get on over to. I'm actually leaving in about 15 minutes. Whew.
So that's it.
Yeah, girl. You know, I've done so much of this. You know, it gets hard to get. I mean, I'm excited because I'm happy for Mayor Johnson. But I mean, girl, whew, I am. Like, whoo. Yeah, I'm going to get on out of here because I have got to head on over. So I'm going to send everybody so much love today. Dave Dowling, I will tell the new mayor that everybody said hello. And I know you all wish him all the best. And, you know, I think this is all a wonderful thing. So sending you all so much love today. I'm going to get on out of here. Dr. Knighton, I will be talking with you because we have a lot of work to do. Okay?
Sounds good.
All right, sweetie, so let me skedaddle. Let me get on out of here. And I love you all, everybody.
Okay.
Go to the Santita Jackson Show YouTube channel from Friday. Pick it up. We pick up right here. And then go to the Santita Jackson and Friends page. We pick up right here. But you're going to hear much, much more than you heard. So I'm sending you all so much love. Thank you, Jewel. Thank you, Robert, Dave Dowling, and so many of you for being here with us today. I'm out of here. Love you.